Hola, yo soy Aldo y en esta ocasión nos encontramos desde la residencia británica, donde vamos a tener el chance de platicar con Shirley Manson, la vocalista de Garbage. Veamos qué es lo que nos cuenta.
Well, you know, I've been coming to Mexico now for 21 years, and it's always a place that we make a priority of coming to visit every record, because Mexico was one of the first countries ever to embrace garbage outside of the United States. And so, you know, you always remember that when the first people who say, "Welcome, we love you," you never forget that, right? So Mexico is a special place in our heart, and I'm not entirely sure why I love it here so much. I can't necessarily put it into words. But whenever I step onto Mexican soil, I feel happy. You know, I come to Mexico from my holidays through choice, you know, and there's something about the culture that I really connect with. It reminds me a little of Scottish culture. There's a lot of history here. Family is still really important. We have certain kind of principles, you know, that we adhere to as a people, and I feel it in Mexico. And I don't know, I just feel like, with my people, even though I'm really white and got red hair or pink hair, I feel a kinship when I'm here.
I'm only happy when it rains. I'm only happy when it's complicated.
Well, I can't speak for everybody in the band because everybody has ideas, yeah, and we come together and we make a record together. But from my perspective, I wanted to put a piece of work, a piece of music out into the world that was really honest. Because I look out into the world right now and all I see is kind of, I don't know, a lot of people forcing themselves to be happy, or pretending to be happy, or really fronting and acting like they've got everything all sussed out, and I just don't think that's real. You know, I think life is complex, and particularly right now I feel like the world is in chaos, and I'm a confused person. I'm just trying to figure it out, and I wanted to bring that to a record.
I've been feeling so frustrated. I'll never be as great as I want to be.
Every day, every single day, we receive messages or letters, or we meet fans who tell us the most extraordinary stories and have brought us to tears a lot. And in fact, I even very recently got a letter from somebody's father who said that the band had been there for their child when he wasn't. And it was really powerful and really emotional, and I felt so privileged to be there to help somebody through a really difficult part in their life. Split everything equally. Nobody gets more than anybody else. Nobody has more power than anybody else. Nobody gets to say more than anyone else. And mutual respect. We fight like brother and sisters, you know, like we go at it, but we've never said anything that is cruel. And so when you don't destroy with your words, or your actions for that matter, there's always room to get back on the same page, you know, back on the same block.
Don't believe in pain. Don't believe in anyone.
The most important, most incredible lesson I've learned as a musician is that the majority of people the world over, we're all the same and we want the same things. And we have to galvanise together and force world leaders into actually representing that, the wishes of the people. If you really want to be a big pop star, you have to sign with a major label. There's always exceptions to that rule, but if you are an alternative artist, you need to have a point of view. You need to work like a maniac, get no sleep, and play all the time until you garner enough people who fall in love with you and connect with you, and then you can start to grow from there. But it's really hard.
I'm only happy when it rains. You'll get the message by the time I'm through.
Don't, because I think the mistakes you make get you to where you are, you know, and a lot of the mistakes we made as a band are why we're still here, because it teaches you. Every time you fail, you learn something invaluable, and you never make that same mistake again, not if you're smart, yeah? So I think the more you stumble, the more you have to get up, and it's difficult, and it takes it takes a strong stomach sometimes, you know, or you have to like really swallow your pride and try and always come from a beginner's standpoint, like always like you know nothing. I think that's the best way forward, is just like, I know nothing, teach me. Well, I'm lucky in that I am an aggressive woman. You know, I'm not scared of men, I love men, and I see them as my equal. And so I'm never feeling uncomfortable around them. I always feel really good around men, and men have treated me well. But every now and again I've come up against a sexist, misogynistic creep, and I am lucky in that my family taught me how to deal with someone like that. I can deal with assholes. And when I feel like I'm being, someone is being sexist to me, I push through it. But the problem is, not every woman is like me. Not every woman had the kind of mother and the same father as I did. They don't have the same confidence, they're not articulate, they didn't go to school, they didn't have the benefit of a good education. And they feel, sometimes I think, timid when they meet a male sexist pig. They step back, they don't want to have to push. And that's what bothers me. That's why I want to see a system change. I want men who are good men to encourage others to treat women with respect and equality.
Pues ahí está algo de lo que nos contó Shirley Manson en esta plática que tuvimos con ella. La verdad, súper agradable, y también, al parecer, le gustó mucho esta Catrina que le regalamos. Compartan sus comentarios con nosotros en las redes sociales y continuamos en Central.